Good evening, everybody. It's Monday, January 6th, 2025, and we'll call this meeting of the Sault Ste. Marie City Commission to order. Could we have a roll call, please?
Mayor Gary.
Here.
Commissioner Bauer.
Here.
Commissioner Bospis Rath.
Here.
Commissioner Habusta.
Here.
Commissioner Marble.
Here.
Commissioner Rubenstein.
Here.
Commissioner Talentino.
Here. Starting out with a perfect record. Thank you. If everybody that can stand, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Happy New Year to everybody. We haven't met since before the holidays. I'd like to say on behalf of the City Commission, big thank you to all the DPW, police and fire that have worked so hard through this holiday season. It's pretty amazing when you look at the stats. We've had 96.6 inches of snow this year so far, which is 182% of our average at this time. The only city beating us is Gaylord, 103.3 inches. And we have a 20-inch snow depth, and we've had 40 days of over 6 inches of snow on the ground. Gaylord is second place with 6 inches of snow depth right now with only 33 days. So thank you very much to DPW. They've done a great job at getting the streets cleared, sidewalks cleared, and thank you for the police and fire for keeping everybody safe within the community. And thank you also to all of you and to the CVB for the fantastic anchor drop on New Year's Eve. It went off really well, and even though the fire chief is riding a scooter because of his leg, he was there overseeing the operation. So thank you very much, everybody, and it was nice to see the city's two-colored bucket truck that took us 3 years to get being used as the vehicle to drop it. So, and also this Thursday, you'll see that our flags are at half-mast as day of mourning in remembrance of former President Jimmy Carter, who died at 100 years old. So, we'll move into item C, which is public comment. Is there any person in the audience that would like to make any comments on any of our scheduled items this evening? Moving on, we'll move to item D, which is the consent agenda. Deputy City Manager Robin Troyer.
Thank you, Mayor. Under the consent agenda, 1, approval of the City Commission meeting minutes of December 16th, 2024. Item 2, acceptance of the Airport Advisory Board meeting minutes of November 14th. Item 3 is acceptance of the Economic Development Corporation, Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, and Tax Increment Finance Authority 3 meeting minutes of November 12th. Item 4 is acceptance of the Sault Ste. Marie Housing Commission meeting minutes of November 21st. Item 5 is consideration of mayoral appointment of Joe Nolan to the Economic Development Corporation. Item 6 is consideration to approve traffic control order number 24-03 and to rescind traffic control order number 02-94 on Brown Street. Item 7 is consideration of bid award for atmospheric monitoring equipment. Item 8 is consideration of bid award for purchase of PPE washer extractor. Item 9 is consideration of bid award for firefighter physicals and cancer screenings. Item 10 is from the International 500 Project, authorization to sell liquor on city-owned property for the I-500 snowmobile race to be held on Saturday, February 1st, 2025. And item 11 is approval of the consent agenda items as presented.
Thank you very much, Deputy City Manager. Does any commissioner want any of these items further explained or removed for individual consideration? Seeing none, Commissioner Bauer.
So moved, we approve tonight's consent agenda.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed on a unanimous vote. Moving on into item E, special orders of business. So I think everybody's aware of the process that we have had to do a personnel evaluation of City Manager Brian Chapman on March 18th, 2024. On our City Commission meeting, we created a personnel committee to review and discuss the successor agreement with the city manager and to develop a recommendation for the full commission. And thank you very much to Commissioner Marble, Commissioner Bauer, and for assisting me on this committee. We did go through a lot of variations of a evaluation tool and a 360 evaluation company to come in and work with us. And then on September 3rd, 2024, at our regular city commission meeting, we went into a closed session to do our evaluation review. And then subsequent to that, on October 7th, 2024, at our regular city commission meeting, we made a motion to approve the extension of the city manager's agreement, which was going to expire, I think, next month. And we extended it for 120 days, which expires February 11th, 2025. And thank you very much to Deputy City Manager Robin Troyer, and also city manager and our attorney for working out a lot of the details of the new contract language. The former contract, as we all know, was very old format, and so we had it renewed to suit the city's needs. So tonight we'd be looking to go into a closed session in accordance with Section 8A of the State of Michigan Open Meetings Act in order to consider a periodic personnel evaluation of public officer. And item 2 is consideration of a city manager contract. So we would need a motion, support, and a vote to go into closed session, and we will be coming into open session at the conclusion of the closed session. So we have a motion.
Thank you, Mayor. Motion to enter into closed session in accordance with Section 8A of the State of Michigan Opening Meetings Act in order to consider a periodic personnel evaluation of a public officer.
Support.
So it's been moved and supported that we go into closed session at the end of our regularly scheduled meeting, and we will come back at the end of that into open session. So moved and supported. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We will move into open session, or a closed session, I guess, at the end of the meetings. So moving along into item,
Are we doing it now?
that'll be at the end, right?
Oh, I thought we were doing it now, because you say I make a motion to consider the contract.
To I thought we'd go into closed session and come out and do the contract, or not?
Sure.
What was the,
You can go in now.
huh?
You can go in now and then come back out. Approve
Okay.
on the contract and then.
That's what I thought you wanted to do last.
Oh, go into session now?
Yeah.
All right. So we will move into closed session, and we will come back at the conclusion. We'll give you a 5-minute warning, I guess, when we're coming back. All right. Okay, we will officially reopen the public meeting portion of Sault Ste. Marie City Commission meeting. Commission, and we are on item, holy cow, where are we? I shouldn't have shut my computer. We are on item E, special orders of business, number 1, and on the second item, Commissioner Bospas Rath.
Thank you, Mayor. Consideration of city manager contract.
Support.
Been motion and support that we approve the city manager contract as presented.
You just change the motion to approve or not
Yeah.
Okay,
consideration.
sorry. Approval of the city manager contract.
Support.
There's a motion to approve the city manager's contract as presented to the commission. Are there any questions, comments?
Just to clarify, there was a motion and support. Do we have to vote for consideration and then vote to different motions now?
What?
You had a motion and support for consideration of the contract, and now we have a motion and support to approve the contract.
I don't know what a, I guess,
I don't-
I asked for clarity because I don't know what a motion for
I
consideration
think
is.
she's amended her motion
Okay.
in the
Okay.
same
Just wanted to make
supporter.
sure, because we had a motion and support. I just
Sure.
wanted to make sure we're by the
Yep,
book
thanks for
here.
the clarification. So can we do a roll call, please?
Mayor Gary,
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Bospas Rath,
Yes.
Commissioner Habusta,
No?
Commissioner Marble,
Yes.
Commissioner Rubenstein,
Yes.
Commissioner Talentino.
Yes. Motion passes on a 6-1 vote. Thank you very much. Move on into item F, communications. Number 1, City Manager Chapman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For commission information tonight is Local Government Retirement System Annual Report, form number 5572. Essentially, this is the report that Finance Director Kristen Collins sends into the state regarding the statuses of the pension systems within the city. There's 3 forms within the item. There's no action required for them. It's just an informational thing. The first form, city form, shows the status of the MERS system as well as the police and firefighter system. The next 2 forms are for the DDA and the EDC respectively. I guess kind of note within these forms is the percent funded within each of these. From the first form for the city MERS and the pension system, you'll see that there's no triggers reported for these forms. Both of them are in compliance. There's 2 triggers from the state of Michigan, being less than 60% funded and greater than 10% requirement for government fund revenues for the contribution. Both of those are fine. The other 2 forms for the EDC and the EDA, they are out of compliant. They're a little bit below funding levels. In another item, and a little bit later in the meeting, there'll be a waiver request to kind of not have to follow that rule that the state will take up for consideration because the size of the funds are kind of small. So it's just as an FYI for the commission. Again, no actions required. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to entertain them.
Thank you, City Manager. Does anybody have any questions for the City Manager on this item? All right, so we'll move on into item G, which is business items. Number 1, City Manager Chapman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Up next for commission consideration is a request to approve a waiver for the underfunded status for the EDC's MERS pension plan. Kind of going off of what we just discussed in the previous item, when a pension fund is below a certain threshold, there has to be a compliance plan, or based on the size of it, we can apply for a waiver. This is something we've done last year and the year before, so we're following up with again this year. A lot of it comes down to just the size of the fund and not a lot of employees paying into it. So the EDC board did take this up at their last meeting for approval, so we look for a motion to approve the waiver as presented.
Thank you, City Manager. Does anybody have any questions or comments for the City Manager on this item? Who'd like to make the motion? Who's the liaison? Okay, Commissioner Marble? No, that's all right, go ahead.
Motion to approve Form 5583 application for waiver of unfunded status of the EDC's MERS pension plan in 2023 and authorize the city manager to sign.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any questions or comments? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed on a unanimous vote. Item G, business items number 2, City Manager Chapman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Up next for commission consideration is a request for change order approval for the Safe Routes to School project. This item has 2 motions to it. Motion to approve change order number 002, and a motion to amend the budget by $38,000 with $1,800 from the sidewalk repair and $37,000 coming from the general fund. This closes out the Safe Routes to School project. The change order should have came to the commission a little bit sooner. But given the number of projects we're administering and the contractors' kind of newness to having a project like this, it just kind of got bunched up here. So internally, change orders will start coming to this commission when they're anticipated. But this item has been presented to the commission with the funding sources. The project needs a little bit of extra funding. We're looking at $1,800 from the sidewalk replacement program, as well as $37,000 coming from the general fund. So we have 2 motions here: motion to approve the change order and motion to amend the budgets as presented.
Thank you, City Managers. Anybody have any questions or comments? Commissioner Habusta.
Yeah, just to clarify, so this work has already been completed? Or,
Correct, the project is completed.
okay, and so what would happen if the state commission didn't approve a change order after the fact?
You'd be stuck with a bill.
Okay, thank you, and I think you specified why this is important, that, and I appreciate you even including in the notes that, to maintain control of the project costs. I think it's really important, especially being that we have this huge project going forward with wastewater treatment, that we follow the proper policies and procedures here moving forward in regards to these change orders. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner. Anybody else? I know we've had a few comments about the project, and I think there were some concerns. Is there any type of a holdback on this? Or I know we have a warranty period, I'm thinking, for 12 months on that work.
You want to come up, Dave?
I don't want to say anything negative about it because I don't want to disparage any
Okay.
contractor, but
Well, it's a
I know there were a
state-
lot of concerns about missing in action on areas in the city, and then that final push, I think.
So it's a state-funded project, so we have a year warranty on it.
Okay.
And then there's probably gonna be touch-up work in the spring that they're gonna have to do that, the restoration work, because if the grass and stuff doesn't grow, they'll have to come back and replace it and stuff like that, so.
And there was a sign that was damaged
Yep,
by a plowing accident, not one of our plows.
yep,
That would need to be replaced and repaired as well in the
Yep.
springtime. That wasn't due to any kind of faulty craftsmanship or anything.
no.
And the quality of their work was consistent with the contract that was
Yeah,
funded by the federal government?
Yeah, actually, this contractor that did subcontracting this type of work all over the state, so they were really good. The only thing was that this was the first time they were the actual general contractor, so we had to work with them a lot.
So work was
on
good, timing was weird.
that. Weird, yep.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have any questions for city manager or engineer? Thank you.
Yep.
All right, we have 2 separate motions, it looks, on this item, so who'd like to make these motions this evening? Commissioner Boss? Commissioner Rubenstein? Everybody's fighting for it.
Motion to approve change order number 002, final quantity adjustments as presented in the amount of $64,581.77.
Support. Moved and supported. Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Commissioner Rubenstein.
Motion to amend the budget by $38,800 with $1,800 coming from the sidewalk replacement project, number 0643, and $37,000 from the general fund.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion also passed unanimously. Thank you. Now, under G, business items number 3, City Manager Chapman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Up next for commission consideration is a request to approve a repair plan for the generator at the water treatment plant, as well as a motion for a budget coming out of the capital repairs for said generator. So the wastewater treatment plant has a generator. It's aged and worn out. We have a service contract with Cummins that comes in and does an annual maintenance and inspection on it. This time around, they noted that there's a significant leak in the radiator that is unrepairable, as well as some other issues within the generator. This item would authorize Cummins to make the repairs as well as establish the budget. So this was something that we didn't anticipate having to cover, but something that came up in this fiscal year. So motion to approve the repairs in the wastewater treatment plant for the generator, as well as motion to establish a budget for capital repairs in the amount of $13,000.
Thank you, City Manager. Anybody have any questions, Commissioner Bauer?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Any questions before we go there? All right, Commissioner Bauer.
So moved, we approve repairs to the wastewater treatment facilities generator, or the water treatment facilities generator, excuse me, provided by Cummins Sales and Service at an estimated cost of $12,995.65.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Commissioner Bauer.
I further move to establish a budget for capital repairs to the generator with the funding from the Water Capital Equipment Reserve in the amount of $13,000.
Support.
Motion and support. Any questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Thank you. G, business items number 4, City Manager Chapman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Up next for commission consideration is a request to approve the city's safety program. So this was something that city staff started working on a couple years ago. We had a consultant come up and help us out with this. Since then, Director Tews has been kind of leading a work team consisting of a few department heads and a couple other employees to create the safety program. Tonight, we are presenting you with the safety program for approval. There's no fiscal impact for adopting it. This is just kind of our safety policies. This kind of makes it part of our operations and our organization moving forward. It's pretty extensive. There was a lot of time, a lot of work that went into making this plan. So certainly a big thank you to Director Tews and the staff that spent a lot of time putting this together. But we will use this moving forward as kind of the backbone for our training program. We do set some funds aside every year for training programs, whether on-site or through a webinar or in other means. But we'll be able to take this and kind of deploy it throughout the organization and just make sure everyone is being as safe as possible in their day-to-day work. So we would look for a motion to approve the safety plan as presented.
Thanks, City Manager. Any questions, comments? Commissioner Habusta.
First of all, I just really appreciate this. I think this is a great plan, and I think it's really well done. One question I did have is there any sort of risk management officer or anything like that within the city just to make sure that this is being followed, or is that just done by, I'm just understanding, how, do supervisors, is that their role? How is that done?
Yeah, we don't have a dedicated risk management officer. Some bigger organizations do. The responsibility to ensure that these policies are being followed falls on the supervisors, or even the responsibilities on the supervisors. But I mean, there's opportunities for other employees to kind of point out potential issues, or the group leaders that we have on certain teams to point them out. So it kind of falls on the supervisors, but safety is everybody's responsibility, right, Kirk? There we go.
Thank you.
Commissioner Talentino, I think safety is your middle name, right?
Well, this is an important thing, but going back to, I'm gonna kinda answer Commissioner Habusta's question. It's a see something, say something type situation. You know, instead of having one person, I think if everybody's on board, if they see it, let somebody know if something's wrong. That being said, motion to adopt the City of Sault Ste. Marie Safety Program as presented.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any questions, comments? All in favor of adopting the policy signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed unanimously. And finally, under G, business items, number 5, City Manager Chapman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Up next for commission consideration is approval of a deficit elimination resolution for the Capital Projects Fund in the amount of $8,703,868. I think I said that wrong. So this item is something we did last year as well. Kind of the short of the long on this one is the size of the projects that we have that are being funded by the Capital Funds Project has a deficit right now. It's primarily due to the Carby Dock project. The reimbursements coming in from the different funding sources are taking a little bit longer than what we'd anticipate. In the narrative, Director Collins put in there that we submitted one in May 2024, and we still haven't received or heard of anything from Eagle yet. So there's just a long delay on some of these items coming in, creating the deficit within the item. So this just kind of stipulates that we have a plan moving forward. As long as everything comes in more timely throughout this year, I wouldn't really anticipate having to have one of these for next year as well. So we look for a motion to approve the resolution as presented.
Thank you, City Managers. Anybody have any questions or comments on this item? Commissioner Habusta.
Thank you, and I know that I had several people who read the agenda item and said how, just to, again, be very clear, this is grant money that's coming in, it just hasn't come in yet. We didn't overspend an amount of $8.7 million. We have grant money coming in, and I think that's important for the public to realize when they see this number.
Correct.
Good point. Who would like to make the motion on this item? Commissioner Rubenstein?
Thank you. Motion to approve the resolution to eliminate the 6/30/24 deficit in the Capital Projects Fund in the amount of $8,703,868.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any other questions or comments? All in favor of this motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed unanimously. Item H is the city manager announcements and updates. And looks like there's one item on there.
Yep,
One or
just
two? Okay.
one item. The goal setting for the commission is scheduled for February 17th. The consultant will be reaching out with a little bit more information. I'll share that with everyone as soon as we get it. Kane's Rink is going to be available for rental starting Wednesday, and the Sled Hill is getting pretty close to being open as well. So that's all I have for tonight.
On Canes, we're just opening for rental now because of the incidents we had last year?
Correct.
Do we have a camera in there yet, or no?
We have a portable one that we're looking to put in there, but even with it in there, we'll probably still just do rentals for a little bit.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for city manager on either of those items or anything else? All right, so we'll move on into item I, which is matters presented by the public. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to make any comments at this time? Seeing none, we'll move into item J, which is matters that are presented by the city commission, commissioners. Commissioner Bauer.
Yeah, one other thing, maybe I blinked and missed it when we were talking about the ski hill, but if I remember from the packet, we could actually use a couple more employees. So if anybody knows anyone who's looking for work, send them our way.
Yeah, I believe
Good
we have
point.
11, and I don't remember, what's the total number we're looking for, Robin, do you remember? As many as we can get. We have 11, we need double that, just to put a number to it. So if there's anybody that's looking for light part-time job, perfect for after high school when it lets out.
Fun job,
Fun job, great
positive place to
job,
work.
pretty cool, I
Yeah.
heard. See Robin and apply.
Must have own warm jacket. All right, any other commissioner have anything? Commissioner Bosphus Rath.
You know, I just have to say it. Go Lions.
What a game, eh?
I even stayed up and watched. That's
You
something.
just offended half of the public in the UP.
I'll say it again. Go Lions.
I'm all with it, yeah. No, it's about time. Don't want to jinx it, but it's going well. Commissioner Bauer.
Your Honor, I move that we adjourn this meeting.
Support.
Motion to support to adjourn. All in favor, say